Greetings from New York City. I'm Phil and we're running the bridges. This is a video series where we visit all the bridges in New York City that you can run across. The big, the small, the old, the new, the world famous icons, and the ones you've never even heard of. And so thank you for watching and welcome. And today we are at the Madison Avenue Bridge, and this connects Manhattan and the Bronx over the Harlem River. And we are here at the intersection of 135th Street and Madison Avenue. So this is the very northern terminus of Madison Avenue. We'll just turn. You're looking south right now down Madison Avenue. And right up there is one of the entrances to the bridge. Now on the Bronx side, it connects 138th Street in the Bronx. And then when it comes into Manhattan, it splits into two parts. And one of the parts goes to 138th Street in Manhattan. And this part, as you can see, is 135th Street and Madison Avenue in Manhattan. And we're going to take a little stroll across the bridge, and we'll give a little bit more information as we go. Okay, now for runners or for walkers, this bridge does have a sidewalk on both sides. And like I say, we were just at 135th Street and Madison Avenue, and on the the east side of Madison Avenue. And so we are walking, which will become the south side of the bridge as it turns. And when we get to the bridge, it'll be the south side of the bridge. Now this is another drawbridge. It crosses the Harlem River, another swing bridge, which means that the main span rotates 90 degrees to let ships through. And I'll give you a little look. There we go. That's where we're going. That's the bridge, and you see the main truss right there. That will rotate 90 degrees to let ships go through. Now that main truss there has a length of 300 feet. The overall length of the bridge, including the approaches, on-ramps, is 1,892 feet. And then that would include, I would assume, the way it splits in Manhattan. And just a little side note, you can see behind me that bridge there. That is the Park Avenue Bridge. It's a railroad-only bridge. So we will not be covering that bridge in this series, but we are close to it, and I wanted to give you a little look at it. You can see the two towers there. So that's a lift bridge. So instead of the main span rotating, those two towers lift the entire span up high enough to let ships go through. But that's railroad only bridge. That's used for Metro North. I'm not sure if it's used for freight or not, but that is the Park Avenue Bridge. Just a quick look at it. We're not going to be making a separate video on that. Can't run across it. Sorry. Okay, so now we're about to enter the main span right there. And you see the sign, that big green sign, Madison Avenue Bridge. And above that, you see the plaque. Also, it says Madison Avenue Bridge. It says 1909. Well, officially, the bridge opened on July 18th, 1910. So, if that throws your life into chaos, I'm sorry. Okay, one other thing I want to show you before we cross the bridge itself. I'll just turn. And this is on the Manhattan side, and you see there's a little waterfront greenway down there. And it's a nice little greenway. It actually doesn't connect. It doesn't connect very far. There's an entry point down there on 135th Street and another entry point upriver. Of course, it's not really a river. Harlem River is not really a river. But another entry point at 142nd Street. The greenway goes as far as 145th Street to the 145th Street Bridge. So it's nice for what it is, a little waterfront area, but it doesn't connect. It doesn't go through anywhere. And we're just passing one of the guardhouses right now, and then the arms that close down when the bridge is opened. All right. And again, you can see that little island area. That's where, when the bridge is open, it will cover that area, and that's where the ships will go through. Okay, we are entering the Bronx now. This is 138th Street, and the entrance to the Major Deegan Expressway. And you can see there's some construction around here. So if you are running around here sometime, there's January 2025, running anytime around now, just use caution, obey the lights. Okay, so this is the main intersection in the Bronx where we just entered, and is again 138th Street, and now we had crossed over the entry to the Major Deegan Expressway, but now we are on Girard Avenue, and so this is the first street that you see, and this is where the intersection, if you need to cross over, this is where you go, East 138th Street in Girard. And this is South Bronx, or possibly Mott Haven you might call it, but we're in the South Bronx. And you can see there's a lot of construction going on. So, parts of the South Bronx are going to be like coming kind of hip or kind of upscale. So just so you know that. But again, for runners, there's, aside from that greenway that I just showed you, there's not a lot of parks or greenways in the immediate area of particular interest. But there is one particular interest of note, one item of interest for runners. Cross the street and I'll get over there and show you. Okay, so we're on East 138th Street, again in the Bronx. We're on the north side of the street now, and I don't know if you look behind me, those like bridges, those overpasses, one of them is railroad, one of them is, no, they're both railroad, I believe. But if they look familiar to you, if you are ever one of the very few people who's ever run the New York City Marathon, yeah, so the New York City Marathon comes from there, comes up 138th Street and crosses Madison Avenue Bridge. It is the fifth and final bridge on the marathon course. That's where you re-enter Manhattan. And so I'll show you a little bit of that as we go along here. Okay, so I just flipped the camera around, so we're both looking in the same direction, so I can talk while I'm walking and show you. So that's the entrance to the bridge. That's where you want to cross during the marathon. And as soon as I get the light, I will cross. And I'll explain a little bit. So this is an on-ramp to the Major Deegan Expressway. It's actually an exterior street. This street there is exterior street. And that street there, 135th Street, 135th Street wraps around and joins 138th Street. But now we are on the bridge as if you were running the marathon. And you see the signs there, how it splits. 135th Street to the left, 138th Street to the right. All right, so now we'll try to go. Run with me here for a minute. Is this looking familiar? Near mile 21. Near mile 21 and starting to get a little bit tired. And you see this bridge, and you know you're coming into Manhattan, and you're getting close to them. You can feel the end of the marathon. It's a great feeling. I've run it 11 times myself between 1997 and 2017. So I know how that feels to hit this bridge. I know you're coming back into Manhattan, and you hear those crowds in Harlem. And that's one of my favorite points. The crowds in Harlem are just absolutely fantastic. All right. Sorry for the wobblies. Okay. And there's another guardhouse that we just passed. Okay, so there you see how it splits. 135th Street and Madison Avenue to the left. 138th Street and 5th Avenue to the right. And that's where we're going to go. Now that we're on this side of the bridge. That's where we were before, on the other side. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, you hear the cheering crowds. Oh my God. All right. So this will be the end of our journey for the day, end of our exploration for the Madison Avenue Bridge. All right. And there's Fifth Avenue. So when you run the marathon, you turn left, go down Fifth Avenue there, and you're only 5 miles out. All right, so here we are, 138th Street and Fifth Avenue. And one of the little trivia note, this is the only spot, the only bridge, only spot where the street numbers in Manhattan line up with the street numbers in the Bronx. You have 138th Street coming to 138th Street. They begin, the Bronx numbering system begins in the South Bronx there with Manhattan, but their streets are different size, different distance apart, and we'll get more into that in another video, how they don't always line up, but this is the one spot where they do line up. 138th Street matches 138th Street. But in any case, that's the video for today, so thank you for watching, and we'll see where the wind takes us for next time. Keep running. Hope to see you out here sometime, and have a good day.